If for years you've been telling yourself, if only I had more confidence, I would start that business. Or if only I was braver, I would leave this job. If only I believed in myself more, I would finally do the thing I keep saying I want to do. And you've tried, you've done the affirmations, you've read the books, you've done a lot of research, you've journaled your fears, and yet you're still stuck, still waiting to feel ready. What if I told you the reason you're not moving forward has almost nothing to do with your confidence? What if the problem isn't inside you and it's around you? Here's what I see over and over again with the women I work with. Women who are brilliant, women who have built businesses, they've led teams, they have executive titles, women whose competence is so irrefutable that everyone around them assumes they have it all figured out. And inside they're drowning. They have ideas, so many ideas about what they want to build next. A new business, a new chapter, or a life that actually feels like theirs. But nothing happens, and they tell themselves the same thing. I'm not confident enough. I need to work on my self-belief before I take the leap. But here's what I've learned. Confidence sometimes is not the problem. It may be a structure problem or a community problem. Think about it like this. Imagine there's a professional sport you want to learn, not just for fun. You want to compete professionally. You've never had a lesson in your life. You've never been inside a camp where that sport is being trained. Now ask yourself, would the thing hold you back be a lack of confidence, or would it be that you have no teacher, no class, no schedule, no practice, or that you have no partner, no one to show you exactly what you need to do? The reason you're stuck isn't that you're not brave enough. It's that you're trying to start something or start a new life or a business in complete isolation, without a blueprint, without anyone who's done it before to show you the way. And by the way, there's actual research that backs this up. A study from Babson College found that people who start businesses while they keep their full-time jobs are 33% less likely to fail than those who go cold turkey. All right, let that sink in for a while. So you don't need to burn it all down to prove you're serious. You need a structure that lets you test your ideas without betting your entire life on the first one. I love this because it takes the pressure off. You don't need to be the person who has the courage to walk into their boss's office and resign with no plan. You need to be the better person. You need to be the person who says, I'm going to keep my safety net and I'm going to build a bridge one step at a time while I'm standing on solid ground. But you can't build that bridge alone. That's the part we keep getting wrong. We've been sold this myth of the solo founder or the lone entrepreneur who figured it all out in their garage. Bill Gates, he spent 10,000 hours trying to figure out the computer, right? But if you look at almost any successful founder, they had a co-founder. They had mentors. Eventually, Bill Gates got co-founders, right? They had an ecosystem. They had people who said, try this, and that's a bad idea, and here's what worked for me. In fact, I would recommend you read Jeff Bezos' book. He has a lot of lessons about the partnership and how they built it together, challenging each other to reach the next level of success. So you're not supposed to figure this out alone. The fact that you've been trying to is the reason you're stuck. I also want to give you the reason you're trying to do it alone, because you're good at being the one who doesn't drop the ball. You're the fixer, the builder, the woman everyone counts on. You built a life where you needed no one, and that was survival. That was smart. But here's what happens when you take that same independence into a season where you're trying to build something new. The very skill that made you successful, your ability to do it yourself, it becomes the cage that keeps you stuck. I call this the independent island. You build a fortress around yourself, and now the idea of starting over in unfamiliar waters feels like drowning. So you stay on the island, you keep thinking, you keep dreaming, but nothing changes. The way off the island is not building your confidence. You already have it. It's not a better business plan, and you're good at writing one. It's a community, it's structure. It's finding people who are on the path you want to be on or who have walked it before you. It's having someone who says, send me that idea on Tuesday and I'll tell you if it's worth testing. It's having a container, a program, a mastermind, a small group of women who are also in their season of becoming that gives you a reason to show up, even on the days you don't feel like it. So here's my invitation to you this week. Stop asking yourself, how do I build more confidence? I know because I've been there. I used to think confidence was my problem, but I had to be able to get out of my own bubble and step out and join women or groups that were going to help me build what I was building. I'm still in those groups right now. Start asking yourself, who can I build this with? Those two things, structure and community, will handle 90% of what you think is a confidence problem. Because when you have a clear next step and people walking it with you, the fear doesn't disappear, but it stops being the thing that runs the show. And let me tell you something. You don't need to be a different person to start. You need a different environment. If you've been feeling that quiet panic or that every night dread about wanting something more but not knowing how to get there, I want you to hear this. The exhaustion you feel isn't proof you cannot do it. It's proof you've been trying to do it in a way that was never designed to work alone. It's proof that you're overthinking and trying to figure it all out by yourself. So here's my question for you. If you stop trying to fix your confidence and started looking for the right container, the right structure, the right people, what might become possible? I'll tell you what I've seen. I've watched women pour everything they had into a business idea for years, getting nowhere. I did that when I first started out as a solopreneur in my coaching business. They join a room full of other women who are also building, and within 6 months, the thing they've been dreaming about is suddenly real. Not because they finally got brave enough, but because they finally got surrounded enough. Structure gives you the clarity that never comes from a journal entry. Community gives you the courage that never comes from another self-help book. If you know you're ready for that kind of container, I want you to take my assessment down below. It's going to give you results to tell you exactly where you're stuck and the three next steps that you need to take. You might also want to watch the Pivot Masterclass videos in my school community. It's where women I work with, when they are ready to trade the old identity for the one they actually chose, or when they are ready to get off that independence island. But even if that's not right for you, find something, find a local group, an online accountability circle, a mentor you can pay for 3 sessions. The exact program matters less than the decision to stop trying alone. Because clarity comes from engagement, not thought. And courage comes from company, not solitude. If this video landed with you, I want you to do one thing. Share it with a woman who's been talking about starting something for years and hasn't taken the step yet. Maybe she just needs to hear that the problem isn't her confidence. Maybe she just needs permission to find her people. And if you want more of this, more reframes, more frameworks, more practical ways to build the life you actually want, subscribe and turn on notifications. I will be dropping a video every week with tools that helped me build a business and walked away from it when it cost me my soul. The same tools I use now to help women like you build something that runs with them, not on them. I'll see you next time.